What the fuck? What the fuck?
By now, I'm sure you have noticed the considerable funds transferred to your account.
What? No. Oh. Yeah, the money? What about it? You can't have it. It's mine.
You have 7 days to review Snowpiercer.
I'm not gonna review that movie. I'm not doing it. You can't make me review that movie. I'm not doing it. Fuck off.
I'm your boss now, Roger.
Look, I don't know who you are, but you're not my boss. When I get out of here, I am gonna fuck you up. All right. You want me to talk about Snowpiercer? That's what this has come to? Well, hello, internet fans, and welcome to 3B Video. I'm your host, Rotten Roger DeMarco, and I guess today we're going to be talking about Bong Joon-ho's 2013 film, Snowpiercer. Yeah. For those of you that don't know about this film, here is your plot synopsis. All of humanity is confined to this train that is in perpetual motion around the globe. Every rotation around the globe is 1 year's time. You have the poor people in the back, the rich people up front. But before we get into my overall thoughts of the film, first, let's take a look at
Right, Rogers! Splatter facts.
We have a whole train full of dead bodies. We have 0 titties. No X-rated reproduction going on here. We have child snatching, bug bar munching, barrel surfing, frozen arm amputation, night vision axe fight, 1 teacher with an Uzi, a sauna scrap, a cannibalism monologue, 1 drug bomb, and good old-fashioned child labor. The methods of death include, but are not limited to, chopped, gunshot, beat to death, stabbed, and blown up. I came, I saw, I got blowed up. Ernest Goes to Jail reference, deep cut. Okay, so now on to my overall thoughts of this film, guys. If you've been following the channel for a long time, you've known that this movie has sort of loomed over the legacy of 3B Video for a hot minute now. Every time we do a live stream, someone brings up,
Will you talk about Snowpiercer? Will you talk about Snowpiercer?
I own the movie, I just had never given it the time of day. And to be completely honest, the reason that I hadn't given it the time of day was because it just didn't seem like it was my type of film. The trailer didn't wow me, the concept didn't wow me, but I can only stave off the masses for so long. My old editor was all over me about it. A lot of the Patreons were all over me about this movie. And then, of course, leave it to the one and only Remix 1UP, our tech man, our boss in many aspects of the game, said, well, guess what? I put money in your account, so you have to talk about this movie. I said I'm not doing it, and then I woke up in the store tied up, and when I get out of this, I'm gonna beat his ass. Also, to be fair, I don't like to spend time on movies that I don't like. That's why all of the reviews on this channel are positive, because I handpicked them. But when you leave it in the hands of the Patreons, occasionally you're gonna come across a movie that you don't really like, but I will be kind, and I want to know why people like this movie. I just didn't care a great deal for it. There's many things about this movie that I do like. I enjoy the concept. I like the idea, keeping the lower class people in the back of the train. This movie has a very Land of the Dead-esque vibe to it. You know, you've got the rich people exploiting the poor people and using them to get ahead. And just like Romero films, there's a ton of social commentary in this movie. That being said, I feel like Romero and others sort of approach social commentary a little bit differently, with a little bit more class, maybe with a little bit more subtlety. And this movie just beats you over the head with the social commentary. This movie doesn't have Freddy vs. Jason levels of exposition, but it's goddamn close. This is one of the only movies that I've ever seen that has such a fast, relentless pace, but also just hits the brakes out of nowhere. The last 45 minutes of this movie are sort of a chore for me to get through. And I've watched it a couple of times this week because I wanted to give it a fair shake, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't just sitting there with my arms crossed like a pretentious asshole not liking this movie. But no matter how many times I look into this movie, how many theories I watch, Wonka Piercer theory, I'm looking at you, it's just a very average film, in my opinion. I really don't like when a film has action sequences and they have the camera so close that you can't tell who's fighting who's dying. And I understand the direction of that. I understand that they want you to feel very claustrophobic and they want you to feel like there is no room to move. You're in the thick of this battle. They want you to feel like you can't escape. But what that does for me is just disorients me. I'm more accustomed to the Hong Kong style of fights where the camera is kind of pulled back and it's almost like a oneer. It's really fast paced, it's exciting, and the fight scenes in this movie just sort of left something to be desired for me. Positives with this movie, I love Octavia Spencer, and Chris Evans is kind of growing on me, I'm not gonna lie. I love Ed Harris, and I'm conflicted about what I'm about to say, but I wanted more of him, but I also wanted less of him, if that makes sense. I wanted more of him as a role in the movie, but less of the final confrontation. That last 45 minutes is a goddamn chore. We're gonna open the door. We're not gonna open the door. We need to come in here. We need to talk. We need to do this. And the cannibalism monologue felt really out of place for me. You see, that's why I don't like doing this, because I know I'm opening the floodgates. I welcome the conversation. Let's talk about the movie. Maybe you guys can make me see it in a different light, but I'm literally being held hostage to talk about this film. I have a lot of questions, like the layout of the train, which I'm sure many other YouTubers have discussed. I would love to see a train layout because I know to keep the action moving, they skim over a lot of the train cars that the people go through to get to the engine. But the layout doesn't really make any sense to me. I'm confused about the school system. I'm confused about where they sleep. Do they just stay in school until they're old enough to go have ecstasy in the next car and party? Then they get fur coats, or however this works, or maybe they become sushi chefs. I'm just confused about a lot of things. My favorite thing about this movie is Octavia Spencer, and she's kind of a wasted role. They led on to believe that she's tougher than most of these guys. She doesn't get very good fight sequences. She doesn't get to show that she's this tough, badass mom on a mission to, retrieve her child. And then she has probably one of the most prolonged death sequences ever. It takes her forever to die. It feels like I'm watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer waiting for Paul Rubens to die. My main complaint with this movie is that it feels every bit of 2 hours. It's a fast-paced movie, but like I said earlier, it just pumps the brakes at really weird times. And you're just like, all right, let's get on with it. Let's go. Let's move on, shall we? That makes it a chore for me to watch, which maybe if I put a couple more viewings in, I'll appreciate this movie a little bit more. I don't know. I'm not quite sold on this director, although I haven't seen The Host yet. I've neglected to watch The Host, but in my personal opinion, this movie is actually 100% popcorn as fuck. It's an uprising movie. It's a fast-paced, ass-kicking movie with cannibalism, child labor, and Ed Harris. It's got a lot of good things going for it. It just didn't do it for me. Please be merciful when you come after me and tell me that I'm a fucking idiot for not liking this movie, because I'm aware that out there in the real world, this movie got praise. This movie is highly regarded as a very, very good movie. But in here, in the video store, in 3B Video, it's not a B movie. It's just a movie. But I suppose I should probably get going, because after all, there's a lot of movies out there. Somebody's got to watch them. So why not me? Right? Remix, I swear to fucking God. I'm gonna get out of here, and I'm gonna talk about something with tits in it.